welcome to the Kokosing Dam, just on the outskirts of Fredericktown, Ohio, for the KMAC Cross Country Championships. The junior high just put their boys and girls races in the books, and we are about set to get the varsity and junior varsity underway here to determine who will be the runner of the year for both the boys and the girls, and then also who gets first team and second team all KMAC. My name is Brian Skowronski. I'm going to be your drone pilot today and also take you through some of the event that we're seeing here with some commentary. And obviously there are some big time headliners that are going to be competing. Since the boys are going first, let's talk about them first. Mount Gilead, the #1 team in the state in Division III, a huge favorite to come out here and take a team victory. They are led by their senior standout, Will Baker, undefeated right now. During his senior season, he's broken the school record multiple times. And coming off of an event in late September where he put up a nationally ranked time of 14 minutes and 57 seconds. Absolutely absurd for a 3.1-mile jaunt. But he's got teammates too that have been fantastic this year. We've seen them earlier at the Upper Sandusky Icebreaker finish 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6 in a field that was littered with some talent. Owen Hirschner, the #2 on this team, saw him put up a 16:29 at the Tiger Classic. He's gotten better since then. Tommy Emberg, Henry Bartlett, Nolan Hirschner, all are in the low to mid 17s traditionally so far this season. So plenty of guys in the purple should be near the front of the pack. Northmor as well, a couple of dudes to keep an eye on. David Blunk has been competing in the low 17s for most of the season, and his teammate Benton Naylor coming off of an injury, so we'll see how well he's able to perform on this big stage. But gorgeous conditions out here. He's been in the low 18s in just about every competition so far this season. So definitely a kid to try to keep an eye on when we get things going here. For the Freddies, they've got kind of an inter-team competition going on. 3 dudes running in the mid-16s. Very impressive when you take a look at the likes of Noah Smith, Aiden McManus, and Josh Alexander. 3 really quality kids all lined up on the starting line as we are just about a minute and a half away from getting the boys race underway out here on the outskirts of Fredericktown. A really cool course, cooler conditions coming in here in this morning session, but the sun is poking out. It is beautiful. And there is everybody at the starting blocks. We are underway. The KMAC Championship for the fellas is going down right now, live and free. We would presume that Baker, of course, would get out to a quick, healthy start, as we'll follow the pack in and around the course here today. There's the field. I didn't get an exact head count, but just guesstimating here, it looks like about 50, 60 athletes all competing for the grand prize of KMAC Runner of the Year. Will Baker, a huge favorite to do that. But the next 10 runners that finish will be first team all KMAC. And then after that, runners that finish 11th through 21st will 12th through 21st will be second team all league this season. And just a great look here at the Kokosing Dam, one of the more picturesque sites that we have for cross country in and around north central Ohio. This, of course, that I think a lot of folks, and specifically these KMAC athletes, really like competing on. A lot of the running comes on the grass, so it's easy on the knees and allows for these runners to just have a nice padded surface to trot on as they're past the dam here and looking to make their turn up and through the wooded area. Great look overhead. As the competition just getting underway, a couple of minutes in, the times that we're expecting here today, at least from Mr. Baker, probably in the low 15s. I mentioned that blistering pace that he just had of the 14:58. Can't expect that night in, night out, or morning in, morning out. But a lot of runners should finish in about that 16 to 17 minute mark, at least some of the top contenders. As they're making their loop and heading back towards this way. We are stationed right near the finish line. We will hear from, of course, the winner of both the boys and the girls events, plus some of the other top finishers. We'll try to talk with as many athletes as we have time for. And that is what is up for grabs for the teams today. Beautiful big trophy hanging out on the back of a hay bale wagon. So this is truly KMAC country out here. You see Baker is out in front. I believe that's one of his teammates closely behind. And then there's a pretty solid pack as well. About 8 different runners all competing for that third spot. A clump of 5 of them. And a lot of fans out and around the course today, taking in this action on a gorgeous morning. Picturesque conditions kicking off the start of tournament season here on the OH Report. Hard to believe that the regular season for soccer and volleyball wraps up today, and then they're going to be into their tournament action along with cross country beginning next week. And they say here in the state of Ohio that football in their season, the fastest 10 weeks of the year. It certainly doesn't seem like they're wrong. Already 8 weeks in the books, only 2 more to go. And if you've been keeping an eye on the KMAC competition, there really hasn't been any for Northmor. Undefeated right now, but got a nice test last night from Mount Gilead. Homecoming night at the castle, so a little bit of a surprise there. And then Danville, how about what they were able to do on Tough Street? Getting a shutout victory over Centerburg. Jonathan Langdon said that's the first time that's happened in quite a long time, a couple of decades, I believe. Try to get a look at who's running out there in second place. Certainly looks like it's Baker out in front. And then number 2, likely Owen Hirschner. As Baker makes his turn, he'll be coming by this way. Solid field here in the KMAC Championships. A lot of good runners in this league. And the fanfare too. Really impressed when we showed up early this morning. About 8:30 for setup. The junior high event was going on, but there were a ton of fans. Plenty of them wanted to come chit chat with us. Just tell us about some of their favorite runners and their anticipations for today. There are some of the patrons taking in today's action. And a whole bunch of runners coming through. That section right there on the bottom of the screen is where you just saw that nice close-up shot. So they'll make their turn and bend out and around the dam. And then they'll start coming back towards this way. About 6 minutes here into the competition. Not quite at the midway point. Some great times as well today for the junior high competitors. I'll have to get some final times and some winners for you, but I think that there were a few boys that were running at like a 5.5 minute per mile pace. Of course, they do a 2-mile race at the junior high. Just absolutely exceptional for those youngsters. There's the lead side by side, and we already know who the leader is. Let's look at the amount of space in between Baker and who I presume is Hirschner, who still has not emerged out of that wooded area, but that's just how dominant Will Baker is. When we had them at the Star Stripes and Lights up in Attica, it was amazing to see how he was able to finish the competition a full minute before anybody else had a chance to take off his cleats and then come over and hang out in the winner's circle. So there are the top 3 runners and then a whole pack behind them. So this is the competition kind of competing for 4th, 5th, 6th, and that's where the real action is really going to go down as we get closer and closer to the finish. Who's going to leave enough left in the tank to try to make a hard push, try to get that first team all KMAC honor. It's a look at the finish line, where these competitors are looking to get to at the end of the rainbow. Some big cheers coming right now. There's Baker. Let's follow him for a moment. Making that loop around, and you see some of those competitors coming through that are in like the 20th through 40th range, looking up ahead at Will, and they're like, he's already rounded about. Probably getting accustomed to this. He's been doing it all season, basically his whole career too. One of the top contenders, not just in the state of Ohio, ranked #1 right now in Division III, but really nationally he's been putting up some impressive times. And his teammates too. Mount Gilead, the #1 ranked team in Division III as an entire unit. Got to be impressed with this team from top to bottom. Both of the Hirschners, Owen, along with Nolan, they've been great. Tommy Emberg, seen him in the high 16s at points this year. Henry Bartlett, those mid to low 17s this season. Great times for them. And it looks like Hirschner's on a pretty good pace so far here. Owen, that is. Probably the most outstanding statistic I can spit at you, though. They've got 12 runners, 12, that can all run sub-19. And that's my note from about a month ago, so they might have even improved since then. As Baker turns his way back down and around the dam. And the second place runner, way back here. I'm told that we've got Mr. KMAC here in the building, KMAC Plus, Mason Kidwill, on location here this afternoon. Perhaps we'll get a chance to catch up with the college boy. He's out here getting some photos and doing what he does. Great social media follow if you're a fan of KMAC Action. Check him out, KMAC Plus. I follow him on the Instagram. He's always got some new rankings, and anytime something big happens in the KMAC, he is your source, along with us, of course. Love seeing all the fans, the patrons out here this afternoon. Picked a good day to come take in some cross country. It's kind of perfect temperatures. Got the mid 60s right now. 61 degrees actually. And the sun just now peeking out. "11 minutes in. Probably about 4 minutes away from seeing Will Baker cross the finish line, our first competitor. The rest of the pack still moving at some pretty nice rates. I gotta guesstimate there's probably 10 times as many fans as runners out here today. And that's the beauty of having the junior high along with the high school ranks all go on the same afternoon. Just get a lot of fan support out here. Big event. Makes these kids feel like it's a massive event because it is. Getting them ready for the tournament when they'll go into the districts and then the regionals. And then, of course, some of these competitors have big, grandiose plans of making it to the state competition. Already touched on the Indians and what they feel like they can do as a team this year in Division III. Probably the state favorites to emerge from there. And there goes Will. So Baker getting an eye on everybody else. We'll go ahead, we'll track him. Trying to get a count on just how far ahead he is here of Hirschner. We're already at about a 25-second count. So doing Will Baker type of things already. And just, I mean, look at the pace. I mean, he's keeping up with that side-by-side. He's probably mashing on the gas pretty decent right now. Now he'll pull aside and allow for Will to make kind of his last ascent here. Fans all around giving him encouragement as Will Baker comes through. That is your KMAC Runner of the Year, as if there was ever any doubt. Congratulations to him. And now it's all about who's going to get first team all KMAC, the next 10 runners. Second place really not up for debate. There's a shot of our champion. Doesn't even look like he's out of breath. That's what's so crazy about him. It's not even like he's working hard. So Mount Gilead, the top two finishers. Looks like the Indians actually going to account for the top three here. Here we go. This is where it's getting interesting. Fourth place, Fredericktown. A lot of great pushes here. I think we've got room for two more. First team all KMAC. And this looks like it's potentially Aiden McManus, who just finished here for Fredericktown. Looks like another Freddie right there. Might be Josh Alexander. Now Cardington with a runner home. Centerburg, and now everybody right now that's coming across will be second team all KMAC. There's a couple more that will earn that honor. So that is it. That is your all KMAC team that has just finished here. Here's the final kick for the rest of the pack. Still plenty more runners, about half the field yet still to come home. And sometimes that's what you're gonna get at the end of the race. So much grit and determination. Leaving it all on the line here, and why not? So we're about 18 minutes here into the action now. We'll have some official times for you folks. Still a lot of great kicks left here in the middle and near the back of the field. Nobody taking their foots. And how could you with all these folks out here lining up the perimeter, cheering on these runners? Just straight will at this point. Our finish line cam. And we'll show you what it kind of looks like from their vantage point coming through this way. This is the final home stretch, about the last 50 yards. Pretty. You hear some of these grunts. I mean, these kids still pushing hard. A couple East Knox runners coming through at the 20.5-minute mark. Centerburg landing another one home. And then just a big embrace for everybody down here on this end. With most of the field home now, we will step aside here in a moment for a quick commercial timeout, and we'll be back. We will hear from Will Baker about his victorious run here today, and then also we'll wrangle up as many of the top finishers as we can find here in Fredericktown, and still plenty more action to come. The girls race on deck as well here at the Kokosing Dam.